We're back with the 2014 Aussie Millions Poker Championships high-stakes cash games. There is the balance sheet leaderboard. Phil Ivey with a little over 200,000 now, as is Doug Polk from the United States, Paul Newey, 110. All those players in the red there, well, they need to make up that money. That is cash. And Shing Fung, he's continuing to plummet. He's around about $200,000 in losses. There is Richard Yong from Malaysia. He raises it up with pocket fives.
Richard hasn't been too involved yet. He's down a little bit.
6,000 to call.
But he hasn't played any monster pots, not like Lowe, who's dropped a couple $100,000.
Just a couple $100,000.
Yeah, lazy few bricks there.
Patrik Antonius flat calls with ace-king. A little bit different for Patrik.
It's up.
A little bit cautious.
Or perhaps trying to trap the blinds there.
And the flop.
Check a bit.
10-10-6. All black.
Check. Check.
Quickly goes check, check. The pot's $17,000. The turn a nine of spades.
Check.
Will anyone fire at this pot?
Check.
Both players check. Passive line. The river is a three of spades.
Check.
Both players check. And Richard Yong will take down a nice little pot from Patrik Antonius. You know, we say little, but there was $17,000 in that pot.
Yeah, it's the smallest pot we've seen today, but still $17,000 in real hard-earned cash. But in this game, it's just a few big blinds.
250 grand is the buy-in. One of the most famous cash games in the world. My understanding over the last decade or so that all of these players and so many players around the world plan their trips around coming down to the Aussie Millions because they get so many selections in tournament. They get the 100K, the 250K, the 25K, the main event, and then the cash game, which is, you know, that is quite a schedule. And then, of course, you could just cross over the road and watch the Australian Open around the same time of year.
And beautiful Melbourne weather in January. 45 degrees. Celsius, that is.
We don't want to make it easy for you. Max Altergott with Queen, Jack of Spades.
Lowe was called with, I guess...
anything, really.
Just two cards. He probably called with one, I'd imagine.
He's one of the more entertaining players at the table. Here's Haxton.
Ike has been playing pretty snug.
5,000.
Comes in with a big 3-bet there.
Well, he's got pocket aces. So Richard Yong folds, as does Phil Ivey. You can see the cash game players, they get up, they go for a walk, they have something to eat, they call a friend. Cash game is, it seems so much looser than a tournament, yet the stakes are so much higher in so many ways. Lot to think about here. Max Altergott with Queen Jack of Spades, facing a 3-bet from Ike Haxton. Max will get out of the way.
It's a big size 3-bet too.
Now it's over to Lowe. And we know one thing about Lowe. He is unpredictable, but he has no fear.
Absolutely. And he has 300,000 in front of him.
He's going to call. He picks up a plaque and says, yep, I call. Now, Lowe's courage, I must say, it must intimidate other players.
Yeah, he's certainly not scared to put some chips into work.
We don't know what he has. The flop is a 10-7-3 flop with 2 diamonds. We're yet to find out what he's got. But Haxton with aces, Lowe comically checks over to Ike, who's kind of got a little smile on his face.
Yeah, well, Isaac has to like that flop.
Well, with that call that Lowe made, the pot's now already 61,000. Quite amazing how these pots escalate so quickly.
I think we're going to see a lot more than 61,000 in this pot. I just have a feeling Lowe has something that he wants to play here. Obviously getting involved with the call and then the call of the 3-bet pre-flop. We know he doesn't like to fold. And he's a creative player.
Well, Ike with a small bet, 20,000. It's only a third of the pot. Ike obviously trying to keep him involved.
And Lowe getting 4-1 on his money here. That bet from Isaac, like you said, on the small side, looks like he's trying to induce. What I mean by that.
Well,
and as we can see, Lowe has the set. This is
wow, well.
This could get ugly for Ike.
No wonder he wanted to get involved.
Very good.
He raises straight off the bat. A big one too.
He asks Isaac, good. Isaac says, very good. And he says, okay, raise.
76,000.
76,000 back on Ike Haxton. Wow, what will Ike do here?
Well, Isaac has about 200,000 and he's all in.
He moved all in, so Shing Fung with his set of threes.
Shakes his head, no good, he says.
He says no good. He's letting Ike know that his set's got him crushed. Ike Haxton. This is a huge pot. Almost $400,000 in the middle. Now, Shing Fung was down around $200,000 before this hand.
This might square the ledger. And the fact that he's so unpredictable and he's made a couple of moves already, it's just such a no-brainer for Ike to get in the aces here. He's just actually unlucky that Lowe isn't doing it with, the Jack 4 offsuit or something like that.
And alternatively, if Ike spikes an ace here, he'll send him to almost $500,000 in the red.
We're going to run it twice.
They're going to run it twice. So, ladies and gentlemen, Grant, give us an explanation really quickly of what that means.
Okay, so what that means, usually, in an all-in situation, we'll see two more cards. They've decided to run the turn and the river twice. So that means we'll see a turn and a river, and then again, we'll see another turn and a river. If Isaac wins both, if Lowe wins both, he wins the whole pot. If they win one each, they'll just take their money back.
Well, it looks as though Lowe is ahead on both streets here. He's won the first street and he's won the second as well. So Lowe will win the entire pot. Something you don't see every day in cash game, but you will see it here at the Aussie Millions at Crown Melbourne. And Ike orders another 250,000.
Well, in that hand that I just played with the aces, there's really no way I can hold it against anybody, but even more so against Ronald. There's 60 in the pot pre-flop and only another 180 or so to play. So I have pocket aces, no straights or flushes possible. I'm just getting stacked against anybody, but I'm even a little more excited to do so against him, I guess. I don't think things will play too differently going forward based on the fact that I lost that pot. I think any of the players at the table see a hand like that and they know the same exact thing would have happened to them if they were in my shoes. Maybe people will think I'm stuck a little now, I might be a little frustrated. That might make them either more or less likely to run a big bluff against me, more or less likely to call down, but I think really it won't make that big a difference.